It's going to be Sunderland to get us started in the first 45 minutes. And one thing I will say, despite 9 changes for Manchester United, it will definitely... We are underway in the first half of the Under-18s Premier League North from the Eppleton Colliery Welfare Ground, Sunderland against Manchester United. And as I was saying, despite 9 changes, this young Manchester United side will operate with the same principles that you see any Under-18 side this season, where they want to play with the ball at their feet. Everybody shows for it. They will play out from the back. They will take some risks where it's necessary. We should see some entertaining football from this young group today. Jai is being held back. Referee spots that, and Samuel Parker gives the free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, he showed his ability there right away. Very difficult to play against because he cuts inside a lot on his right foot, and hopefully will cause Sunderland problems on that side.
It's Packer, not Parker, just in case you were keeping a track of the referee. I've misnamed him already. We've been playing less than 60 seconds. Cowan comes out to the left-hand side where Sunderland look to progress the ball down the left to Bowman. Can't be gathered in by Matadine. Well defended away by Overy. Bradbury spins round the back. If you haven't seen too much of Louis Bradbury this season, that is him in a nutshell. He will continue to press and press all day long.
Yeah, it doesn't give the opposition defenders a minute on the ball at all. Closes everybody down, makes them play forward or backwards rather than hit the ball forwards. And good attitude, and chipped in with a few goals that have been vital this season.
Plunkett clips that one forward for someone to chase down, but unable to get there, Camacho. Rafe McCormack, who we're used to seeing play deep line quarterbacking role, now playing at centre-back today. Important for these players to have an understanding of the positions around them. Let's make them a little more rounded, something that Darren Fletcher spoke about on Inside Carrington this week. You'll be able to hear a little bit more about some of that stuff with Darren Fletcher at half-time in this game. Bowman comes back to make peace. Picked up by McAvoy. McAvoy with options in front of him. Twists away from danger well. United trying to use possession here to apply some pressure on Sunderland. Cross to Emsden James. Overy. They've settled into the game pretty well, Arthur, Manchester United, haven't they?
Yeah, they're all getting a touch of the ball, just what you want at the start of the game.
Wow, out of nowhere. Sunderland have opened the scoring, and the smallest of errors, and the ball ends up turned home and into the back of the net. Just when you thought Manchester United were in safe possession, it's Sunderland that break the deadlock. Less than 4 minutes played. Sunderland 1, Manchester United 0.
Yeah, just took that extra touch, Heath there, just allowed the Sunderland forward to close them down. Gets a toe at the ball, falls right for his teammate.
Well, it's Barker doing the closing down and Shakespeare that makes the finish. Manchester United find themselves behind. A little bit of work to do for Darren Fletcher's side.
Yeah, just after they made such a good start, down the right, down the left, seen loads of the ball.
Well, to add to Manchester United's woes, Manchester City have just scored against Middlesbrough as well, so Opens up the gap to 6 points as it stands. Plenty of football left in both of those games, though. Half an hour played at Manchester City's City Football Academy, and just 5 minutes played here. Strong in the challenge, Sunderland. McAvoy looking to win this back. Bradbury closing down 2. Foul is given away by a stretching tackle from Manchester United.
Yeah, I think the reaction of the few fans over there, Sunderland supporters, made the referee's mind up to blow that.
Goalkeeper Cowan taking his time, allowing Bradbury to close him down before moving the ball out to the right. Hamilton Forsyth comes back to the goalkeeper. And now to Makepeace. Drills a lovely crossfield ball, and Sunderland with a little bit of room to manoeuvre in here. Edge of the penalty area. Wilson gets the crossing, cleared away, but only to the edge of the box, and then a last-ditch tackle comes in from McAvoy to get the ball clear.
Yeah, it's that crossfield pass that sort of opened the pathway up there for Sunderland.
Cross goes Manchester United's Dante Plunkett to knock the ball out of play. Well, Sunderland with their tails up after the early goal. Manchester United just having to have a moment of calm to regain the ball. Everybody settled and reset. Ensden James. Loose ball in midfield. He's going to be picked up by Camacho. Out to Ajayi. Ajayi wants to attack the box. Does well to get past the first one. And he's going to win his side a corner as well. Good footwork from Noah Ajayi.
Yeah, always looking to test the defenders. Using his speed there, getting the dead ball line. Just going to cross it, and the second defender comes across and gets his foot in, give United a corner on that far side.
Another game we will be keeping half an eye on for you whilst this game's going on is Fulham against Aston Villa in the early kick-off. That, of course, affecting Manchester United's men's first team. They're in action on Monday evening against Brentford. But with Aston Villa right up close behind them, Manchester United will be watching to see what happens between Fulham and Villa this afternoon. Whipped in, near post, flicked on, brilliant header, and Manchester United are level. Just like that, that is a brilliant ball from the left-hand side. McAvoy whips it in, and a flicked header near post to give Manchester United the equaliser. Brilliant finish.
That's the pace on the ball that makes that. Right into the danger area, Bradbury getting the touch on that, a yard out. All he's got to do is make sure he just gets a decent touch and he gets the side level again.
I thought it was Louis Bradbury, and then I watched James Overy sprint over and celebrate like he'd scored it. Obviously not the case. It was definitely Louis Bradbury's goal, and the captain just trying his hardest to keep the energy levels as high as he can. Nearly caught me out.
Yeah, the pace of the ball is the one. Any sort of touch on that, you've got half a chance of scoring. Great ball in.
McAvoy with the delivery on that occasion. Had an opportunity, didn't he, late in the game against Crystal Palace on Wednesday. Just got a little big on him.
He was very unlucky in that effort. Done everything right other than keep the ball down under the crossbar.
There's a couple like that for Manchester United on Wednesday. A game that they definitely didn't deserve to lose. Better side for 115 of the 120 minutes, really. Just couldn't find the second goal. Palace go on and win the trophy.
Yeah, hard one for them to take, but hopefully they can bounce back from that.
It's a good challenge. Bit of a wrestling match going on there between Nkoto and the fullback, Bowman. United win the throw-in. McAvoy skips away. Gonna drill a right-footed cross in. Just a little low. Easily intercepted in the end. Clearance back to McCormack. Down the line from Plunkett. Done well to steal it back too, Dante Plunkett. On his side, the throw-in. It's been a really good response, Arthur, from Manchester United after conceding early. Gone right back up the other end.
Yeah, just what you'd expect. Getting a lot of possession again and everybody getting a touch. Using both sides of the pitch.
Overeat. Picks out Bradbury. Yeah, the referee sees the nudge in the back of the Manchester United striker.
Yeah, good control again. Knocking it off there for Camacho.
Overeat has got a huge range of passing. We saw that in the FA Youth Cup game against Crystal Palace, didn't we, for the ball that he put in for Chido Obi's winner. Absolutely beautiful ball into the penalty area from Overeat.
Yeah, he's done very well getting in the fringes of the full squad for Australia, and we've got half a chance of being in the squad to go over at the World Cup in the summer.
Yeah, certainly the case, and having a good game for the under-18s today would help him out with that confidence. He's had a big impact in the games that he's come on in recent weeks. Gets the start today. Picked up by Plunkett. Yeah, Bradbury. It's an honest challenge, that one. Just got there a little bit late.
Right in front of the ref as well. There's no option for him to blow his whistle.
City have extended their lead over Middlesbrough. It's now 2-0 at the City Football Academy. So City, as it stands, remain top of the table. United will be looking to keep the gap to just 3. Another switch from Sunderland. Headed into the feet of Matadine. Oh, the referee. Has he given the penalty? The referee has given the penalty.
I thought it was just a coming together there. Two of them running for that ball.
Well, I certainly didn't see a penalty in it. Let's take another look here as it's headed on. Yeah, okay, so Nkoto's just raised his hand and caught him. And the referee spotted something that I didn't in real time. Hard to argue with it when you see the replay,
when you
Arthur.
see it slowed down, he's got his hand up on his face there.
It's going to be Jay Matadine to take the penalty against Freddie Heath. Freddie Heath came off the bench to be Manchester United's penalty goalkeeper at the end of that game on Wednesday evening. Matadine steps up and rolls that one home. So 2-1. We've had 3 goals inside 13 minutes. Manchester United getting themselves level, and a penalty given away at the other end. Matadine scores, and it's Sunderland 2, United 1.
Yeah, done the hard thing, equalising right away. Now they've just got to do that again. Just a little bit of a clumsy challenge there. Hand up on somebody's face or throat, just to put them off. Referee had no hesitation in pointing to the spot.
Well, Matadine didn't miss when he was given the opportunity from the penalty spot. Rolls it home, and Sunderland retake the lead. United get us back underway. And Koto. Camacho closing down. Away by Burns. Hamilton Forsyth looking to progress the ball. Gets it down the right-hand side. Looking for Wilson. Taken off his toes, but he gets it back from the throw-in. Again, challenging for the ball. Manchester United have to concede the corner.
Yeah, Plunkett doing his job there, just making sure that cross doesn't come in.
Here is the delivery, outswinger, headed away by McCormack. Solid header from him. Bradbury and Koto trying to win that back, but Sunderland have managed to play around them. Good tackle from Camacho. And Overy evades the challenge brilliantly. Draws the second one. There's about 3 fouls in there.
Yeah, good refereeing. Sort of rode the tackle twice there, really. 2 different tackles. A little bit of a catch there, and a definite sort of body check in the second one.
Koto looking to keep that in. Does very well, and Koto back down the line to Sharp. And now Overy. They're tough, aren't they? When you've got a defender trying to shepherd it out at the byline, you don't want to give the foul away, but you need to be strong enough in the challenge to win it back. He towed the line pretty well there, and Koto. McAvoy, early ball forward. There was Shah just making the blocking run there, and Overy has found himself in a positive position. This is Camacho, moved on to Ajayi. Ajayi evades the challenge. He's going to get the shot in too. Big deflection, lifts it to the edge of the area. Koto brings it under control. Emsden James to Overy. James Overy in traffic. Does the right thing in retreating to Harley Emsden James.
Yeah, you can spread it to the other side and go out that side if they want.
McCormack stepping out from the back 4 to join in midfield. Plunkett. Neat ball into Ajayi, wasn't it? And Ajayi just crowded out of it. Couple of black cats around him.
Yeah, just seemed to lose his footing a little bit there as well.
Bowman. It's well taken on by Munyakazi. Good tackle from Jariah Sharp.
Yeah, tackling back and winning possession for his side.
I want to be careful of Kay Munyakazi. Has that capability of breaking the lines, as you saw him do there. Sunderland, they do play nice football in the middle of the pitch, don't they? They're 1-2s to try and release the runners.
Yeah, organised. You can see they know exactly what they're doing.
Emsden James to Overy. Good footwork from the Australian. Emsden James brings it out from the back for United. A couple of switches left to right, and all of a sudden it's open right up for Harley Emsden James. Just kept carrying the ball as it kept opening up for him.
And he utilised that space in front of him as well. Just keep him going. If they're dropping off, you keep going.
Certainly not scared to run. Another opportunity for United to try and get forward with Ajayi. Camacho. Back it comes to Jay McAvoy. McAvoy punches one into the edge of the box, touched off well to Jariah Shah, whose effort is on target, but just a hair too close to Cowan.
Yeah, he's done everything right there. Good layoff into his path from Bradbury, keeps it down, just unfortunately keeper's position well there to get himself right.
Sunderland, in open play, probably been second best to Manchester United, but they have forced an error, and then a penalty difficult to argue, really. And they've taken both of those chances, haven't created anything other than those two. Manchester United have been creative in an attacking sense. Jariah Shah is fouled on halfway. Busy weekend of football on MUTV. Obviously this one today, Manchester United's women's first team and Manchester United's under-21s, both in action tomorrow. And then Manchester United's men's first team play Brentford on Monday evening, 8 o'clock kickoff for that one. If you are coming to Old Trafford on Monday, just be aware it's expected to be busy, so if you can get here a little bit early, do that. I know that season ticket holders have been granted 25% off food and drink inside Old Trafford if you get here a little bit early. Avoid all of those queues at the turnstiles. Make sure you're in plenty of time.
Yeah, patient build-up again. United trying to use both sides of the ground. Nothing on, they've got to go back and start again, maybe get out the other side.
This is very much the style of football we see these under-18s play, regardless of the personnel on the pitch. Happy to show for the ball, happy to have the ball at their feet, and will just try and find a gap to play their way through. Jariah Shah trying to find that now. Emsden James. A clever ball out to the left where McCormack can come in field to McAvoy. Down the line to Plunkett. Ajayi opens up those long legs. Noah Ajayi out to Nkoto. Pull back to the edge of the area. Shah. McAvoy evades the challenge. Overy.
Tell him, Louis, tell him.
Darren Fletcher wanting Louis Bradbury to let his teammates know that he was free inside the penalty area.
Keep making the runs, Louis, it's done now.
Always fascinating to listen to the coaching that goes on from the sidelines when the games are being played.
The strikers will tell you as well if they're available, they'll let you know. Most of the strikers I played with want the ball in early and quickly. More time to give them.
Anything to gain an advantage over the defenders in front of you. It's a lovely footwork from Shah, and it draws the foul, and it was because the footwork was so good.
Yeah, danced away for two people there, didn't he?
That touch is lovely. The second one's great as well. But nothing that Matthew Burns can do other than bring him down. United just maybe turning the screw a little bit here. Feel it with the possession that they're having. There he is, Darren Fletcher. Guest on Inside Carrington, official Manchester United podcast this week. And get that wherever you get your podcast from right now. Throw in for United on the far side of the field. Rafe McCormack. Jay McAvoy. Emsden James. Back to Freddie Heath. Good ball through the lines. Camacho just can't release the pass down the left.
The right idea, lets the ball run across his body, just try to get a Jai on his way on the left-hand side.
Relentless trying to win it back too. Maybe a little too relentless in the end. He steps in here, just commits the foul. Bradbury closing down. And it has been one back. You can hear Darren Fletcher screaming at his side that he wanted everybody to push, and they did. Sunderland have just about got away with it.
They're very fortunate there. Thankfully, they've just knocked the ball out of play there. They were a bit fortunate for that ball to just go in their favour, Sunderland. United back in possession again.
Keeper's going to get there and hoists it away. Been an absolute ding-dong in the London derby. Arsenal under-18s against West Ham under-18s. Arsenal were well in front. West Ham then had a player sent off. And then in the 96th minute, West Ham have just scored to make it 4-3 West Ham.
Local derby for you.
Absolutely incredible. Three goals in 14 minutes here. 12 minutes without a goal. Never catch on that, will it?
Yeah.
Bowman closed down by Nkoto. It's a good ball down the left, isn't it, to find Jay Matadine.
Came out of nowhere there.
It's lovely footwork in the penalty area too. Great balance, dinks the ball up to the back post. Miscued shot will be cleared away by Manchester United, but really good wing play from Jay Matadine down the left-hand side.
Yeah, two good feet he's got as well, right and left.
The age-old problem, if you're a fullback, of how much room do you give the winger? You want to be pushed high because you want to join in with the attacking movements. Can't give him too much room. That's a really good thought, isn't it, from McAvoy as he tries to find the run of Nkoto.
Yeah, just try to bend that into his path with outside his right foot.
Matadine helped out by Bowman. Matadine comes infield to Burns. Back out to Bowman. Burns again. Matadine central. McAvoy is going to be penalised for that. It's right on the borderline for me. I'm not sure it's a glaringly obvious foul.
I think when somebody's a little bit bigger than you, like McAvoy was there against Matadine, it just looks as if you're giving a foul away.
Matadine off balance, goes to ground. Not sure it's as cut and dry as a straight free kick, but that's what was given. Another free kick given away. Barker is going to take the resulting free kick. It's another one that didn't immediately look like it was a free kick, but I said that about the penalty and I got that very wrong, so I'll give the referee the benefit of the doubt, Arthur.
Yeah, he's a little bit closer than we are, so that's his job.
Smash goalwards. Was coming down, but
Yeah,
not quickly enough.
I think Heath had it covered all the way there. It looks as if there's a cross coming in, and he's just elected to try and get that in the near post.
I think you're right. I think Freddie Heath had it covered all the way. Rangy goalkeeper, Heath. See that when he stood under his crossbar. Very tall.
Huge, actually. The other night when he came on, I don't know whether it was a yellow kit or not, but it made him look like a giant.
United looking to apply some pressure to Joseph Cowan. He's 6'7". Just so you...
Still growing as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same height as me. Fred Heath. Just got a bit more footballing talent than I ever had.
Let's go, stay high, Noah, 50-50.
Half an hour played. Sunderland lead by 2-1. One an error, capitalised inside the Manchester United penalty area. The second one a penalty given away by Nkoto and finished well by Matadine. McCormack, foot in there to try and win the ball, but it ricochets fortuitously for the Black Cats. Shakespeare out to the right-hand side. Wilson can't keep hold of it. And a play for a throw-in.
Yeah, they've tried that quite a few times to switch the play, use the full width of the pitch.
Given away, that's going to come free to Bradbury. The referee is going to stop play. He's given the free kick to Manchester United for the foul on McAvoy. I think Manchester United would have liked that to run through to Bradbury.
That's what I thought as well. Don't know whether, I don't think there was a flag up for Bradbury. The time he's run okay.
In another game featuring a northeast side, Manchester United's women's under-21 side have beaten Durham 2-1. That was the Academy League plate final. Congratulations to them. Silverware never to be sniffed at for Manchester United women's under-21 side. Brilliant stuff. Good news, that. Lovely footwork from Camacho. Finds Nkoto, looks to get it back to Camacho, just plays it behind him. Sunderland can bring it away. Sliding challenge goes in from Camacho, doesn't make any connection with anything, fortunately.
Plunkett again matching the run, just conceding a corner, make sure no crosses come in.
Corner for Sunderland then. Clipped in, Heath uses that height to his advantage.
Yeah, good calling as well, letting know his defenders what he's doing.
Set Camacho going too. Remains goalless at Craven Cottage. 35 minutes played there in the Premier League. Fulham 0, Aston Villa 0. A game that will affect Manchester United's men's first team. Hunt for Champions League football is hotting right up, isn't it?
Yeah, getting into the sort of business end of the season now.
Big win for Brighton against Chelsea. And of course has repercussions. 2 wins needed for Michael Carrick's side to be absolutely certain.
Yeah, good closing down again there from McAvoy. Just unfortunately caught it with his hand.
And his hand, it's unlucky, isn't it? Proximity, and his hand's right in front of him. I understand that it's hit the arm, but
Protecting yourself as well, it's just a natural thing to do. The ball's hitting you from 4 or 5 yards away.
down the line for Sunderland. Calmly defended by Rafe McCormack, but just under pressure, overhits the pass back to Freddie Heath. It's out for a corner.
Yeah, Massadine as well, a wide left player, coming over to whip this one in.
Again, set pieces is where Sunderland have looked their most dangerous. United will have to stay switched on here. Manchester United's goal came from a brilliantly worked header at the near post. What can Sunderland do? Back post it goes, headed away by Shah. Camacho trying to get out and close that down, but sent back to the goalkeeper. Bradbury just doing enough there to put some pressure on the clearance. And all of a sudden Manchester United have won a bit of territory back. Referee unmoved. Oh no, he's decided he is playing the advantage. Ajayi cuts across his man. Edge of the penalty area. He's held onto the ball brilliantly well.
He's done well again there.
Clipped in towards Louis Bradbury, but keeper Joseph Cowan gets there first.
Making up a lot of ground there, Ajayi. Gets players up the pitch. When they see that in front of them, they've got to get up there and help him.
It's the way that he sort of intuitively drifts in front of the chasing player, so you can't go through the back of the player, otherwise you give away the free kick. Very clever from Noah Ajayi, good balance and good running from him. Manchester United have dominated the ball, haven't managed to create another real opportunity since the shot that came in from Shah that was well saved by Cowan. Koto
He's done well there. Done really well to win the ball.
McAvoy to McCormack. Out to Plunkett. Forward to Ajayi. Turns well. Yep, draws the foul. Took 3 Sunderland players to stop the run though.
I think the ref wants a word with somebody. Yeah, he does that in such a confined space. Good feet.
The referee has got it's a mullet, isn't it? It's definitely a haircut at the moment. What's that phrase? Business in the front, party in the back.
I wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't be able to pull it off either, Arthur. You and I both. 6 minutes to go until the half-time break. Clearance from United picked up by Sunderland. Matadine going to try and get this back, and he's got himself some space. Tidied up by James Overy. McAvoy. It's well kept into athletically by Noah Ajayi.
Yeah, he's done ever so well to keep that in play. Looks like it was going to sail over his head.
I was also convinced the referee was going to blow for the free kick there, but he didn't. Long ball forward, just too far ahead of Nkoto.
Do it quick.
As we said right at the beginning, Bradbury's just trying to keep closing down. He just keeps running, doesn't he?
Difficult, hard position to play up front, especially if you're on your own and you're looking for support to get up there from midfield.
I've seen several goals come for Manchester United from the efforts of Chido Obi and Louis Bradbury, doing exactly that this season. Just keeping the pressure on up high. It's a good cross. Header from edge of the 6-yard box is lifted over the bar. Sunderland have done really well to get themselves into that position. Wilson just can't get the header on target.
And Barker up front done well getting the dead ball line, digging that one out. I think Keith knew that was always going to be too high. Comfortably sees it over.
Manchester City 3-0 up against Middlesbrough at the City Football Academy. So a win for Manchester United would just keep pace with top of the table City. Have Manchester City coming up, of course, in the FA Youth Cup final in the coming weeks. I'm waiting for a confirmed date, time, venue on that. As soon as we get it, we will, of course, find out on the official Manchester United app. Be great to get as many as we can wherever that game is held. Side have been brilliant in the FA Youth Cup this season. Sunderland in a good position here. Slightly miscued by James Barker.
Yeah, doing a similar role that Bradbury's doing for ourselves up front on his own. Elected to swing his boot through that one and just scuffed it a little bit.
Big news coming from Craven Cottage. Fulham lead Villa by a goal to nil, assuming that VAR don't rule it out, which could happen. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0.
Well, that helps our cause. You know, Villa breathing down our necks in the near the top of the league, so hopefully they might not win that game today.
Well, they're level on points, aren't they, with Manchester United? So what it doesn't actually increase a gap or open a gap, but it gives Manchester United the chance to do that on Monday evening against Brentford. Just a little bit of confusion at the back for Manchester United. Eventually the safe option taken and the clearance hammered away. So, left wing corner taken by Matadine. Again, it's a back post delivery. Again, it's just got a little too much on it. Koto can't get there, re-delivered into the box. Overy lifts it out to the edge of the area. Matadine into Wilson. Wilson looks to hook it away. Cormac pushes it out of the area, whipped back in again, headed away by Overy.
Yeah, good heady clearance as well by the fullback there.
McAvoy goes back to Plunkett. Hemsden James. Looking for Bradbury. Very nearly got through to him as well.
Yeah, the defender kicked the ball against his own opponent there and ricocheted towards the Ajayi.
Will take the opportunity to pick this up on the edge of the area, then just loses his purchase on the surface. Feet slides out from underneath him. Brought down by Barker. Played into the penalty area. Chance for a Sunderland third. Big save. Freddie Heath pops out to Matadine. Barker looking to bring this down.
Important save that as well. Fired right at him. Managed to get out quickly and save with his feet.
Big sprawling save from Freddie Heath. Just made himself as big as he possibly could, and then Overy fouled in the area by Munyakazi. Manchester United will have the pressure relieving free kick, but it's a really good pass there to slip it through for Shakespeare. Spread-eagled as he came flying out of his goal, Freddie Heath. Does really well to smother that danger. Sharp. Well, that was given by the assistant, that handball.
Big shout again by the Sunderland players, and sometimes that can sort of play in the mind for the referee to give it. As you say, he got some help from his assistant over this side.
We heard the referee thank his assistant. Thank you, that's my blind side, thank you. Went through the middle, Sharp. Can't keep it under control. Tied it up by Emsden James, and now Overy. And Koto. Overy clearly pushed. Referee just hesitates a moment before giving it. Half-time at Craven Cottage. Fulham do lead Aston Villa by 1-0. Opportunity, if it remains like that, comes for Manchester United on Monday evening when they take on Brentford. Well, here we're into stoppages at the end of the first half. Can't imagine there's going to be too many of those. Bradbury just closed down as he tried to play the pass.
Yeah, they're never in right controlling it. Just there's tackles coming in at them all the time.
Sunderland looking to play it through the lines again by Bowman. Comes out to Matadine. Back to Bowman. Bowman digs out the long cross through the penalty area. Too much on that one. So Wilson goes chasing after it. Blocked by Plunkett. And out of play it goes again. Going to be a throw-in rather than a corner.
Yeah, he's been out a few times, Wilson, on that right-hand side. Plunkett's stuck at his task with him.
Thought we were going to get a long throw then. We didn't. Has come through to Sunderland in the area, though. Cleared, and Bradbury looking to chase. He's lobbed the goalkeeper. Where's that going? Wide. Wow. It's really quick thinking from Louis Bradbury to bring the first half to a close. Thought he was going to lob it over the top of the goalkeeper and give Manchester United the equaliser. Not to be, unfortunately, for Louis Bradbury. First half does come to a close. Caleb Shakespeare opening the scoring after an error inside the Manchester United penalty area. That was slotted home. Then moments later, it was Louis Bradbury with a flicked header at the near post from a brilliant corner, whipped in from the left-hand side. Then the penalty given away by Koto inside the area and slotted home by Matadine. 45 minutes of football to come, but an entertaining first half finishes. Sunderland 2, Manchester United 1.
Is that where they're overloading?
Manchester United keeping a high line. And now Arsenal step in as it's swung into the box. Head goes up, brilliant save, Senna Lomans. Reaction stop from the Belgian, pushes it over the bar, and that's as good as it gets. Brilliant reactions from United's keeper.
Superb, absolutely superb. It's point blank, but he still has a lot to do. As it comes at him, he's underneath the bar, he's got to get it up and get it over. And it's superb.
Watching the game with the supporters club, it's a bit different from watching Man United at home, because there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of enthusiasm. We push each other, and we all believe that Man United can win each and every game.
I think it's surreal. I think the fact that there's not a minute where we are not chanting, where we are not excited, where we are not rooting for the team. I think the atmosphere here, the vibe is unmatched.
The pub is our Stretford End, and we have regulars who come for the screenings and are as vociferous as the fans at the Stretford End or the singing section.
Oh man, I mean, it has to be the next best thing to being in Old Trafford, watching here at the pub with your mates. The chanting, the great conversation, just the good vibes. And of course, you know, if the team's not doing well, you're all here to support each other and be like, no, come on. We're gonna get it, you know, Fergie time, you know, think about Fergie time, you know, it's, you know, there's always a good positivity. You know that if you're here with like-minded people, the best could happen.
It's like nothing else. It is a pilgrimage. You've been where your heroes lived and died.
The Busby Babes are the bedrock of the club.
When you're there, you're part of something special, and when you leave, you take that with you forever.
We're doing it because we love United. To us, United is life.
We'll keep the red flag flying high, 'cause Man United will never die.
Welcome back to the Eppleton Colliery Welfare Ground, where Manchester United trail Sunderland by 2-1. An entertaining first half where Manchester United had the majority of the ball and actually played pretty well in open play. It's Sunderland taking their opportunities when they've arisen that is the difference between the two sides. One error inside the penalty area and one penalty converted by Sunderland, and the Black Cats lead by 2-1. But it was an entertaining 45 minutes, Arthur.
Yeah, very entertaining and almost capitalised with the chance that Bradbury had there at the end. Great vision to try and lob the keeper from the halfway line, only missed by a few yards.
He certainly did, and considering how quickly he took it on, quite impressive really from Louis Bradbury. Here's how the first half went. Well, this was the opening goal and it came from absolutely nowhere. Ball played back to Heath, and then as Heath looks to play the ball out, takes one extra touch and it's slotted home.
Yeah, Barker closed them down there quickly. Ball felt his teammate, who, to be fair, good strike to hit his side ahead.
As he turns, Freddie Heath, he thinks there's going to be a pass on and then realises that there isn't, and then all of a sudden he's under pressure and Shakespeare, arriving in the penalty area, slots it home. This is a really good header at the near post by Louis Bradbury.
Yeah, great delivery from McAvoy up there, I think it was. Whipped in at the near post, just get a touch on it.
Yeah, whipped in brilliantly. And he just gets ahead of his marker, doesn't he? Nods it in at the near post. Really good set piece for Manchester United to bring things level. Excellent work from McAvoy. Well, this was what led to the penalty. So as the ball comes in, Koto getting back, and as he tries to just fend off Matadine from coming back into the penalty area, his hand rises up the chest and does catch him high.
Didn't look much in it in normal play, but when you see it slowed down, it just, his hand there just knocks him off balance. He got up and took the penalty kick himself.
Heath guesses the wrong way, and it's slotted home to make it 2-1 to Sunderland. I think when you see it slowed down, you can see what the referee saw. Difficult to argue with the fact that the penalty was given, and that gave Sunderland a 2-1 advantage. It could have been more, actually, really late on in the first half. This was a lovely worked ball through into the penalty area, and this is a really good save from Freddie Heath.
Yeah, Shakespeare drilled that one at him, and Heath closed the ball down as quickly as he could, came off his line quick, saved that initially with his feet, I think, but a very important save.
Yeah, spreads himself like goalkeepers of years gone by for Manchester United. Excellent work. Well, Darren Fletcher's side are through to an FA Youth Cup final. They unfortunately lost in a final in midweek, but they are playing really good football this season, and it was brilliant to be able to catch up with the league coach for the under-18s on the Inside Carrington podcast, where we chatted to him about everything, including the makeup of this under-18 side.
Darren, you've spoken there about the blend you have in that team. For anybody at home who's listening or watching who doesn't know, tell us what the daily routine is for the players that maybe go to college and the players that don't.
Yeah, so for today's example, they go to, all my players go to college. Some have finished early, so the good scholars have actually finished at this stage of the season, so they actually have the morning off, which is good for them. So that's their reward for doing well at school. So we've still got some at school. So Monday mornings they go to college, so we'll train in the afternoons. But every day is a real professional. We're preparing them to be young professionals, so they'll do pre-activation in the gym. We have video analysis in the afternoons. We're here every afternoon as well, so that's the key. So I think our young players stay till 5 p.m. most days, because in the afternoons we can still learn. So even when we physically train every day, but in the afternoons they'll do gym. They'll have their gym strength and conditioning program. They'll go out for individual extras, but we also do a lot of individual analysis and team analysis in the afternoons as well. So their days are pretty full and busy from the moment they get in here till the moment they leave. Obviously lunch is important, nutrition. So they're getting a full education on everything it takes to be a modern day player. I must admit, I really enjoy the video analysis sessions in the afternoon, because all the players go in, they watch their own clips. They bring clips to us to talk about their game. We bring clips to them. We try and sit down with them to review training, not just games, in small areas that they can improve their game. And we ask them, as I said, to bring clips to us as well. And there's been real good buy-in in that. So the afternoons can be really enjoyable in the classroom doing that.
How does that differ from what you did?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I think the game's evolved, hasn't it? So you talk about pre-activation in the gym, warm-ups have changed, nutrition's changed.
Video analysis, yeah.
Video analysis is a massive thing. It wasn't prevalent when we were a player. You got feedback from the coaches, but it was more just their eyes telling you what they've seen. Every training session's filmed on a drone, same as the first team. So we capture everything on the players. We can code the games, they can clip the games. They've got their own huddle file, which they can watch back their clips themselves every day after every game. So analysis is probably the biggest area of difference, but you can really hone in on small details and how they can improve their game.
In terms of the style of play, I mean, do we still follow not the old style in terms of the boss, the way we were coached back then? Do we still follow the Manchester United style, or have you created your own style of play?
It's a combination of both. I think football always evolves, Quinny, so I think you're right, but we'll always keep Manchester United traditions that have been passed down from the club from a long time. The DNA of the club is, so to speak, there's threads of that in there for sure. But we have to evolve in the way modern football is played. So definitely more emphasis on possession, but I think football in general has gone that way, so you have to be really, really good in possession. I must admit, I've enjoyed the way we've played this season. We've played in an extreme way. But that's also recognising what the opposition do as well. So we won't just keep the ball for the sake of it. If there's space to exploit in behind and it needs a long pass. Yeah,
that's what I want to ask. You know, when we played under the boss, we hardly spoke about the opposition.
No.
Do you find yourself doing the same? I know you have a lot of information. Do you feel you the same with, like, as the boss? You don't give him you give him information, but not too much, and focus on what we're doing.
100%. I would say we small part on the opposition, but really it's 95% about what we do.
Brilliant.
And also challenge the players to, part of their education, to figure stuff out for themselves on the pitch. So a lot of responsibility goes to the players actually. I give them responsibility while the game's going on, to, if the opposition are doing something different, or to find solutions themselves, to make them think about the game a little bit more. And then we try and discuss it at half time, whether their idea was working, or can I maybe give them an idea, but we try and wait till half time to do that, because for me on the side of the pitch to try and change loads of things, it's almost impossible. So I'm giving them the responsibility and they're learning to do that is something I think they've enjoyed, and they've got better at as the season's gone on.
I've really enjoyed watching the under-18s this season. I'm lucky I get to do most Saturdays when the 18s are playing, and we've done all of the Youth Cup games. One of the things that I would say is they never step away from those principles, and it's fascinating to watch them regardless of the game state, regardless of the scoreline, they want to play out from the back. They want to have the ball. Everybody's showing for a pass all of the time. And as soon as there is an opportunity to get in behind, they do that. The other thing is the energy levels to press as high as they do for as long as they do. It's brilliant. Are they the principles that are non-negotiables for you as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think we want to dominate the ball. We want to build up from the back. We want to play our way through the opposition. I think the out of possession principles are probably more powerful. So we want pressure on the ball at all times. So once we're organised, of course we have to get organised in our shape first. But we want pressure on the ball all the time. We want to win the ball back as quickly as possible. And pressing is how we've scored a lot of our goals, actually. So that's for sure they're non-negotiables, and we feed that back information as said on the video analysis sessions. So no, I've really enjoyed watching us playing. I said it to you before we came on air that the amount of times the opposition coaches have complimented on our off the ball, which is actually more pleasing for me, because I know we've got good players and I know we're good on the ball, but to see that humbleness in our approach when we don't have the ball is great, because that's going to help them have fantastic careers in the game. And other pleasing part of us, we've not conceded that many goals, which has come from a combination of the way we keep the ball off the opposition, so we starve them of possession. But as soon as the opposition have the ball, we try and win it back as quickly as possible, and we sprint back every time the opposition have an attack. So the players have bought into that right from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, lovely having a chat with Darren Fletcher. Really, actually insightful, some of the stuff that he was talking about the way that him and Colin Little go about dealing with this Manchester United side, and specifically some of the challenges that they face, as well as, you know, managing players that are different ages, different levels of development, different skill sets, different, you know, positional strengths. It was some of the stuff that he was talking about you just don't think about when you're maybe watching academy football on a Saturday afternoon, listening to Arthur and I. You don't realise some of the challenges and some of the difficulties, as well as some of the positives that there are in coaching young players through this stage of their career.
A lot of the lads have moved away from home, setting out in a career for themselves, and might not end up playing the position that they're in, playing in other positions to be tested out and tried and see how they react, and all a learning experience for them.
Yeah, absolutely huge. And who better to be sort of leading them through that stage of their career than somebody that moved from Scotland when they were 12 years old to come and join the Manchester United Academy. He understands it better than most, Darren Fletcher. So having that level of experience leading up the under-18s is really beneficial for these young players too, Arthur.
Very much so. And as the season develops, you're hoping that they can end up with some trophies. It doesn't matter if they don't, but it would be great if they did this season I'm just talking about. And hopefully they can finish the season off on a little bit of a high and carry that on to the next season as well, because ultimately it's all about stepping up the way eventually to the first team.
Well, both sides back out here, support staff crossing the Eppleton Colliery Welfare Ground. This is where Sunderland women play their games too, which is why you can see the Away the Lasses signs around the edge of the ground. But really good to see that youngsters get to play some football here as well in a stadium environment. Excellent work. Speaking of the WSL, for those that are keeping an eye on what's happening with Manchester United women, who obviously are still in a race for Champions League football, Manchester City are trailing Brighton by 3-1 this afternoon. That is a real turn up for the book, so we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, ready to go here. Referee checks his watch. And we're underway in the second half of the Under-18s Premier League North tie between Sunderland and Manchester United, with the Black Cats leading the Red Devils by 2-1. All out to the right-hand side, and Manchester United have named a full bench. Sunderland have named one short. That's a very late challenge, and the referee has spotted that, and I wonder whether that might be the first yellow card of the afternoon. It's certainly going to go into the back pocket. Yeah, I think not too much choice there, really, from the referee. It was very late, wasn't it, from Hamilton Forsyth?
It didn't look pretty, right in front of him as well.
Yeah,
took the legs off him.
Actually, you've got to give a good amount of credit there, haven't you, to Joan Camacho, who saw it coming and managed to sort of mitigate some of the potential damage. But the intent was there, and the referee hands out the yellow card. We often say when we're doing these under-18s games, don't want to see players booked, but important that, you know, players are protected. And that's what that yellow card is about. And Koto closing down was Noah Ajayi. Goalkeeper reacted brilliantly well. Really quick thought process there to all of a sudden switch direction.
Yeah, the closing down made him sort of set himself up a little bit quicker than he wanted.
Meanwhile, Manchester United bringing the ball away with Emsden James. First of the FA Cup semi-finals is a little bit later today. Big weekend of sport all round, really. Your plan this afternoon, Arthur? Park yourself in front of the FA Cup semi-finals?
I'd like to think so, but I think I might have to do a bit of gardening, possibly. Not my strong point, but I'll have a go.
Yeah. Yeah, I try and avoid spending any time in the garden. I'm useless at it. That's out of play. Will be a goal kick. Well, they're in the 80th minute between Brighton and Manchester City in the WSL. And I'm not sure any of us would have had that down as a potential full-time result, with Brighton leading by 3-1. Radio commentary of Manchester United women on Sunday for you here on MUTV, ahead of the under-21s, who also play Sunderland this weekend. That one is post-season in PL2, so you get to the end of your regular season and then top 16 go into a playoff where first place 16th, second place 15th, etc, etc. So therefore Manchester United, who finished second in the PL2 table, take on 15th place side, and that was Sunderland, and that takes place as the first playoff game on Sunday afternoon. It's good work from Dante Plunkett. Needs a little bit of help from McAvoy, who happily provides that helping hand. He is then impeded by Triziano Wilson. The free kick is for Darren Fletcher's side. Freddie Heath. Jai is not fouled, according to the referee. It's going to allow Sunderland to keep going. Wilson's going to get the ball in, laid off, but intercepted and cleared away.
He done ever so well to control that ball, Ajayi. I thought he got fouled, but the referees, no, play on.
I think Jariah Shah has just caught a high arm there. Oh, yeah. I don't think there's anything untoward in it, but he's sort of approaching the player. The player's backing into him, and there is just this coming together with the arm out from the Sunderland player. And it is a fearsome collision with the chin of Jariah Shah.
Yeah, I don't think there was any intent there. But the ref's got to have a word with him and try to set his stall out.
I think it's one of those where if you're the attacking player in that situation, you want to sort of fend off the defender, don't you? Just maybe has got his arm a little too high and Shah has run into it. But important just to make sure that there is no further issue for Shah here. So go through the head injury assessment. It's really good to see, and I know that sometimes it can be frustrating when players are going down and potential head injuries when you want to watch the football, but it's important that we look after.
We've got to be 100% sure that he's okay. That's the main thing.
So far, So good for Jariah Shah. Will now have to leave the field, but looks like he's going to be okay to continue. Honest as the day is long, isn't he, Jariah Shah? The way that he plays football, hard-working, professional.
Yeah, the fact that he's walked off okay and he looks all right. Hopefully he'll get the nod.
Big switch to Nkoto. McAvoy. Back to Emsden James, and now across to Rafe McCormack. Heath. Can't find Camacho. Shah back onto the field, is straight back into the fray. Chases that ball out of play. Plunkett. He has to make a secondary challenge, does that. Maybe gets a little unfortunate that it hasn't taken a deflection on the way out, but...
Yeah, I think that's what he was playing for. You'd think he'd been right on the line like that, it would take a deflection, but I don't think it did.
Plunkett's challenge sends Sunderland backwards. Slip between the legs of Noah Ajayi. Good feet on the edge of the penalty area from Matadine. It's a good cross too. Wilson brings it down, and Freddie Heath has to be diving away to his right-hand side to claim that one, which he does.
Yeah, long ball into the back post. I think Wilson was just knocking that into the 6-yard box for his partner Barker to get in the end of, but Heath was up to that. Brave save.
Diving, and he's not spilled it. I think that's the big one, isn't it? If you're gonna, you need to make sure you're catching those, and he does that. Makes it look really easy as well, and I promise you, it's not. Just overrun in midfield United there, and Matadine is away. Played against McAvoy. Made a proper slapping noise, didn't it, as it ricocheted off the Manchester United midfielder. Emsden James marshals that back to Heath. Sunderland that have come out with the bit between their teeth in the second half, Arthur.
Yeah, they're forcing us back, and we're just sort of looking at the moment. It's us defending in our own half. But let's just try and force our way into this, back into this game, and everybody push up together.
It's had a play for a throw-in, going to be taken by Overy. Emsden James across to Rafe McCormack. Plunkett. I think Bradbury's gone a little bit early. Yeah. It's the ball into the back of the net, and let's hope the referee is in a lenient mood.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be. He seems to be that way, the referee. As you mentioned about yellow cards, he's let a few things go, and he's had a word with people rather than pull cards out all over the place. Excuse me. Just maybe went a little bit too early there, had to bend his run a little bit more.
Back it goes to Cowan. Manchester United in the right places and doing the right things. Maybe just getting a little unfortunate that they don't quite get the break of the ball there. Pressure's on. They've applied that well. But it's Sunderland that are just getting the run of the ball at the moment.
Yeah, good closing down to force the defender there to hit a crossfield pass, which he obviously sliced a little bit.
Sunderland are working just as hard though, aren't they? You can see that's James Barker back from a centre forward position, putting in tackles in midfield. Yeah, the referee eventually saying enough's enough and realises that Louis Bradby's been pulled to the ground.
He's not got a lot of room there, has he? As soon as he's closed down, there's midfield players tackling back at him as well.
This would be Jimmy Thwaites kind of territory, but no Jim Thwaites in the squad today. So instead, it's going to be Jay McAvoy. Now, Jay McAvoy's just as capable from this kind of range. Whether he decides to have a go or whether he decides to feed it in behind, we shall wait and see. Ball doesn't look 10 yards to me.
No, it's
6 yards maybe.
If that.
Clipped into the box. Hit goalwards by Bradbury. Out for a corner.
Yeah, he's always alerting there for balls coming in. Good strikers should be. It might fall to you, which it does do, and comes off full-back Bowman there really for the corner.
I hate to be a whinge bag, but look at the way the stripes are cut. They're clearly cut 6-yard stripes. You can see that, the 6-yard box. There's 3 stripes in the 18-yard, but there's 6-yard stripes, which means that that wall was no more than 6 yards away from that free kick. Here is the corner. Whipped in near post again. Very dangerous ball for a second time. Cannot be converted. Back post by McAvoy. Finds Overy. Overy wriggling free.
Unlucky they're not winning the corner.
Smashed away by Sunderland. Just want to clear the lines, don't they? Camacho. Ajayi. Ajayi looks to wriggle between a couple. Manchester City's under-18s are now leading Middlesbrough by 5-0, so it doesn't look like today is going to be the day that Manchester United can close the gap to the league leaders, even if they do come back and take the lead against Sunderland. Looks like Manchester City are out of sight there, so...
Yeah, you just got to concentrate on your own results, and if we can get ourselves back into this match with an equaliser, hopefully we might be able to finish highly.
Well, you do get the feeling, don't you, that if Manchester United were to find an equaliser, there's every chance they go on and find the winner. Haven't even played an hour yet, so still plenty of time left in this game for Darren Fletcher's side to work themselves an opening or two. McAvoy. It's a great switch from McAvoy. What a brilliantly weighted pass that was for Dante Plunkett. Plunkett to the byline, gets it into the penalty area, loose inside the box, but it's Sunderland that react fastest and smash it clear again.
Well, at least we're asking some questions of their defence now.
Actually, it's Sunderland that are penned inside their own defensive third at the moment. Camacho just couldn't get that out from underneath his feet, could he? Sunderland coming in the opposite direction. One back by Shah. Shah out to the left and Ajayi. Noah Ajayi driving to the byline again. Looks to dig out the cross, which is cleared away hurriedly by Sunderland once more.
Yeah, good play again there by Shah there to feed Ajayi.
Noah Ajayi, who really come into form in recent weeks. Another one that's played quite a lot of football. Hemsden James. As it goes to Plunkett. This is quite typical of this under-18 side, where what they want is Sunderland to come out from the edge of their penalty area to try and find a little bit more space in behind. The key to that is now, once they're back in possession, is to move the ball as quickly as they can. They try and do that with a long one over the top to Ajayi, and it's fallen well to Camacho. Back out to Ajayi. Ajayi in a good position here, checks back onto his left foot. Can he dig the cross out? He does so. Headed away at the near post, but only back as far as Noah Ajayi. Plunkett. McAvoy. Emsden James. Gets it into Shah. Out to the right-hand side and Overy. Back to Harley Emsden James. Just loses his footing but recovers well. Down the line. Cross now from James Overy. Oh, just over the head, wasn't it? Manchester United were trying to get themselves in positive position, and Koto unable to bring that down, and then Camacho is penalised for a little bit of a soft one. Sunderland will have a pressure-relieving free kick.
Yeah, Wilson cutting back inside there. Got his side a free kick there. Good piece of play though by United, trying to keep Sunderland under pressure and asking questions of them again.
I've had a change for the Black Cats. Brown is on. Confirm who's gone off for you when I can. Into the penalty area again. Jai lurking at the back post.
Joe, tiny passes.
Maybe Munyakazi, actually, who has made way. No, there he is. Not him. Ticking off players as we go. Drilled out to the right-hand side. Headed away. Brought down, hit goalwards, and it's another good save from Freddie Heath. Needed to be watchful, and he was, as it ended up into the gloved hands.
He certainly caught that well, Massadine. Fortunately, Heath positioned himself well, held on to it.
Confirmation on your screen of that substitution. It is Caleb Shakespeare who makes way. And, Wes Brown is on, not that one, who also played for Sunderland, but one with two S's. Well, the referee, I think, has given the free kick there to prevent him from having to make the decision on whether or not it was a handball. So it's a free kick to Sunderland.
It gives him a chance to push everybody forward again.
The referee trying to explain to Louis Bradbury exactly what's been given. Well, Fulham have had the ball in the net for a second time against Aston Villa, only to be ruled out by VAR. So it's back to one. Double change for Manchester United. That is Junior Brown onto the field as Manchester United look to try and find a way through. Junior Brown's immediately gone out to the right-hand side. Koto charging in to make the challenge there. Also see that O'Brien is on for Manchester United too. That was the second of the double change. Ball's out of play over on that far side. McAvoy. Excellent feet from Rafe McCormack.
Great piece of play.
Forward again. This is Junior Brown. Brings it off to Nkoto. Nkoto's effort is straight into the hands of Cowan.
Yeah, good strike, kept it down. Unfortunately, Coward is positioned well to deal with that one.
Opportunity at the other end. It's good defending again from Manchester United. It's Dante Plunkett and Joan Camacho, who are the two that have gone off for the Reds.
O'Brien, I think it was, staying on his feet there, just made sure he just gets a block on that.
Full time in the WSL, and Brighton have beaten Manchester City by 3-2. Actually keeping a closer eye on what happens with Arsenal in that one if you're following Manchester United women's season. As United push for top 3 in Champions League football next season. Right wing corner for Sunderland. The referee has just stopped the corner being taken whilst he sorts out an issue between Wilson and Heath. It's just a little bit of pushing and shoving as Wilson tries to stand on the toes of Freddie Heath. Heath's going to get there, looks to punch, off the post and away. Wow, Manchester United just managing to evade the danger. Woodwork helping out.
Yeah, just at full stretch there to try and get a bit of a punch on it, Heath. Ball fell kindly for Sunderland to hit that. Unfortunately for us, it's come off the woodwork.
McAvoy. Given away. Sunderland in the area. One back by Shah. Junior Brown. Quickly closed down by 2 red and white shirts though.
Yeah, good long ball to pick Junior Brown out there. A few weeks ago that would have maybe skidded forward for him, but it's pitch is drying out a little bit now and just stuck when it bounced up there.
He was crowded out of it by a couple, and then the referee has decided that it was Junior Brown that committed the foul, so free kick was Sunderland's. O'Brien gets it away. Jai just gets a little nudge in the back of Matthew Burns. I think the referee thinking there that Burns has actually stepped back across to initiate the contact with Ajayi.
Yeah, linesman's right there as well. He never saw anything.
Full time at the CFA. City's under-18s beating Middlesbrough by 5-0. So it won't be today that Manchester United close the gap on the league leaders. So they now can worry about whether or not they can get themselves level at the Eppleton Colliery Welfare Ground, which is a right old mouthful every time I have to try and say it.
Just got to try and use it a little bit quicker, try and get the Sunderland side out their shape.
Knocked out of play. Manchester United throw in. I think the steward tried to chip that back into play. Unfortunately, it's careened into the advertising hoardings. Didn't quite get enough.
Mishit it.
Yeah, didn't quite get the loft on it that he needed. Well, Sunderland fighting very hard to try and take 3 points away from this one. United having difficulty finding a way through, Arthur. You think moving the ball a bit quicker might be the solution?
It would certainly help the midfield lads and Bradbury up front. If they could sort of move it quicker, the guys at the back get a little bit more time on the ball to build up. Just got to try and sort of manoeuvre the Sunderland side and get them moving around a little bit more.
Fewer than 20 minutes to play, so Manchester United need to try and battle their way through a really well-drilled Sunderland side. Again, Rafe McCormack showing his quality as he nods that back to Freddie Heath. McAvoy. Get it away. McAvoy with the big switch, looking for Junior Brown, but
yeah, just acknowledging it. Just maybe cut across that when he hit it, and it sort of drifted a little bit wide of Junior Brown.
You can see, can't you, Junior Brown saying, I need that in front of me to run onto rather than retreating for, and I think you're exactly right. Just maybe faded it rather than drawing it. Now to McCormack. You see Rafe is looking for somebody to play that ball to in midfield, isn't he? And can't immediately find the pass. McAvoy to Nkoto. Down the line to Brown. McAvoy. He's looking for the run in behind. Shah trying to get there, does very well. Jariah Shah, and he is caught. Yeah, I think the referee is probably going to have to deal with this situation too, because it's not the first time that we've seen Munyakazi make a challenge like that in the game. The referee is calling him over. If it's not a yellow card, it will be a final warning, Arthur.
He certainly just made no connection with the ball there. The refs again try to talk to some of the players, which isn't a bad way to sort of achieve your goal, really. But he's trying to explain why he's penalised them there.
So no yellow card. It was just the old riot act being read in a much more conversational fashion than old school referees would have done it. He certainly hasn't got another one of those, I don't think, Munyakazi, before he is going to go in the referee's notebook. Free kick going to be taken by McAvoy. Whipped in dangerously again. Headed back across the 18-yard box from McCormack.
Yeah, right
wide.
I was going to say, right idea, knocking it into an area where you're hoping one of your teammates might get on the end of it.
Hard to take all of the pace off the ball, isn't it, as it's being arrowed into you like that. Little cushioning header is a tricky one. Down on the outside of the boot of Emsden James. Heath sends it the opposite direction. Ajayi. Ajayi's good balance again on the edge of the penalty area. dinks it into the box. Back out it goes for Noah Ajayi. Good footwork again, back heel to Shah. Shah gets the cross in, cleared off the line. Ajayi heads it back to the edge of the penalty area. Volleyed effort from McAvoy. He was being closed down quickly. It's high over the bar.
Good piece of play again from Ajayi and Shah eventually. I thought that Shah was going to hit that with his left foot. He's let it run across his body, opened his... Done everything right there, but you've got Sunderland defenders chasing back. I think it was Cowan there that managed to hoof that clear.
Well, that's better from Manchester United. That's what they'll want in the closing stages of this one. 15 minutes to go. Away by Cowan. Headed into midfield by United. Intercepted by Emsden James. Out to Overy. McAvoy. McAvoy has spotted the run again of Noah Ajayi in a positive position.
He's done that 3 or 4 times, McAvoy, in the second half. That angle pass out, trying to get Ajayi going on this left-hand side.
Rafe McCormack is being hassled and harried. He spins around after he's played the pass to the assistant on this near side to ask why it wasn't a free kick, but made sure that the pass was completed first. It's a good header from Nkoto, brave one. Down by O'Brien. Ajayi, back to O'Brien. And now Ajayi again. Out of play, Manchester United throw in. Sam O'Brien looking for a way into the area. Shah's going to take this on. Just gets taken off his toes. United are pushing, but struggling to find any clear-cut opportunities. Sunderland on the break here have got numbers forward too. Matadine finds Munyakazi. Overlap, and that's another good stop from Fred Heath. And then again, it's the same post, and now the opposite post that keeps Sunderland away. Well, Manchester United are riding their luck, and the woodwork tested twice in the space of 3 or 4 seconds.
Well, it doesn't matter how it stays out, you just got to make sure it doesn't cross that line. Cowan with the low ball in, following it up, no angle from there, but then when it drops to Matazine, he thinks he scored there, I think. Fortunately gone wide.
Frame of the goal. Twice, gets down really well, Fred Heath, to make the first save, and as he's trying to get back to his feet, it's blasted at him, comes off one post, and then is hit into the next post by Matadine. Maybe another chance coming here for Sunderland. Lifted through the gap, but Heath is going to get there before anybody else. Brown unable to latch onto the end of it. Brown. Overy. Intercepted. Sunderland in a positive position again with Barker. Good challenge goes in. And another one from Overy. Protects the ball well. Goes down, referee says it's no foul. When Yukazi gets there, it's turned behind for a Sunderland corner.
Yeah, just trying to get that goal that'll cement the game now, but we've got to try and fight this at the moment. Just having a good 5 minutes, Sunderland.
Into the final 10 we go. United still trailing. All of the goals coming in the first half. Woodwork's been struck 3 times in the second period. No goals. Back post delivery comes all the way through. Another change coming here potentially. Yeah. Didn't see who was making way, but Somebody was. There we go. Harry Hunter coming onto the field. And Hunter is going to replace Triziano Wilson. So, goal kick, less than 9 minutes to play of normal time. And Manchester United looking for a way to level things up. Rafe McCormack balanced on the ball again. Has no option forward, has to come back to McAvoy. Strong carrying the ball, isn't he, Jay McAvoy? So difficult to knock off it. And even under a bit of pressure there, never really in trouble. Wonderful quality to have.
Yeah, Jai just couldn't quite keep that ball in.
Walton's throw. Tangle of legs between Ajayi and Barker.
Yeah, just catching them from behind there, Ajayi.
Brown is going to put the ball into the penalty area. Going to be brought away by Shah. Didn't have any option really to get the ball out, did he, Jariah Shah? So he had to carry it. And then the foul is given away by Sunderland.
Yeah, they're happy to do that.
Strong challenge from Jariah Shah. He goes down under the attentions of Matthew Burns. And that will be the second yellow card of the game. And that will be specifically for breaking down the counter-attack.
Yeah, just on the ascendancy there, it looks as if he was just going to zip that ball into the front player.
It's a bit of a cynical one, isn't it? You know what you're doing when you make that kind of challenge in that kind of position. It's good for the team that you do it for. It's frustrating for the opposition. It may well have set them up here, Sunderland. Good save again from Heath, whose starting position was absolutely exemplary. Junior Brown's touch lets him down. Opportunity from the left-hand side, dinked in. McAvoy gets it away to Brown.
Yeah, good headed clearance there to keep that one out. Comfortable for Heath there, positioned perfectly again.
Koto has gone round the outside here. Working really hard on Koto to make sure that keeps pressure on the ball. Helped out by O'Brien. Good footwork from O'Brien. Finds Ajayi.
Come on, Matt. Come on, Matty.
And Koto is being held off that by the strength of Hamilton Forsyth.
And it was strength there as well by the big defender, just using his body there to keeping Koto at arm's way.
Rob. Well done.
Another change coming. There's another one for Sunderland. Ivan Struck coming onto the field.
Okay, Jay.
McAvoy back and helping out. Got through an awful lot of work this afternoon, Joey McAvoy. United defending. Ajayi. Ball does stick to him quite remarkably, doesn't it? When he's running like that.
Yeah, it looks as if he was going to actually lose possession there, but he uses his body well as way back defending.
Brown gets a nudge in the back as he tries to bring that under control. United get the free kick.
Noah, you alright or not? Come on then. Play, come on.
Darren Fletcher encouraging his side. Wants them to realise that game's not over yet. Still have an opportunity to get themselves back level. 3 minutes plus stoppages left to go. Lifted forward. Bradbury looking to bring that down in the area. Just outnumbered really as he tried to do that. Sunderland on the break overplay the switch back to the opposite side. Ibrahimov coming onto the field. Emsden James making way. That is not Amir Ibrahimov though. That is Amir Ibrahimov's brother, Ghazi Ibrahimov. Just in case you were getting confused. Harley Emsden James making way. Ghazi Ibrahimov on for Manchester United. Free kick. Oh, the offside given. Down the line. Koto. Ajayi. Koto continuing his run. Maybe just a hint of miscommunication between Noah Ajayi and Koto down the left-hand side.
Yeah, had a lot to do there, and even just sort of trying to keep the ball in play there. Big defenders coming across Hamilton for Scythe.
Ajayi has played the ball sort of down the line, and I think Koto probably wanted it in the channel. As I say, just a hint of miscommunication. Good midfield play again from Manchester United. I say midfield play, but it's the two centre-backs, isn't it, that are coming up and doing that job. Ibrahimov's challenge. And Koto to Shah. Shah looking out to Brown. Lifted away. Clatters into the parked ambulance. Assuming that was a helpful paramedic that's just lobbed it back into play as well.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been a more perfect throw back to James Overy. Ibrahimov. Moved on to O'Brien, and now Ajayi. Clear pull of the shirt, but Ajayi keeps his feet. Referee plays advantage. Looks to push that through the gap, but misplaces the pass, and it's cleared away by Sunderland. Forward again, looking for Bradbury, but intercepted again.
Yeah, too many red and white striped shirts back there defending now.
And Koto not fouled. Clearance is straight back to United though. O'Brien, McAvoy McAvoy lifted into the gap for Junior Brown. Junior Brown's done brilliantly, pokes it goalwards. Can it be turned home? It cannot. I think, though, that Manchester United may well be given the penalty because of the collision between the goalkeeper and Junior Brown. Didn't see the referee point to the spot, but 99% certain that that's been given. Brown does brilliantly. He does get cleaned out. And I think that will be a yellow card too.
I thought Bradbury was going to try and just smash that in the net there, but unfortunately the ball just bounced up too far for him.
Well, an opportunity from 12 yards to level things up in the 92nd minute. Joe Cowan confirmed has gone in the book. Third yellow card of the game, all three of those going Sunderland's way. Manchester United have been relentless in the way that they've chased the game down. Not always been successful in creating opportunities, but that was a gilt-edged one.
Yeah, long ball again from McAvoy, picking out Junior Brown on that right-hand side.
Noah Ajayi against Joe Cowan. To equalise, Ajayi! Oh, it's been saved, and it's been saved well. Manchester United still fighting for it, though. And then the referee gives the free kick in the opposite direction. And a tired penalty from Noah Ajayi, just a bit too close to Cowan, who gets down well to his right-hand side.
Yeah, you've got to give the big goalkeeper Cowan some credit there. Dived the right way, kept it out. So we sort of look at the clock now. He's probably won his side of the game with that spot kick save.
Well, Manchester United with the opportunity to level things up. The offside flag goes up there against Sunderland. Unable to take it from the penalty spot. It is in fact a penalty that separates these two sides. Could well be that first half penalty from Sunderland that carries the Black Cats to victory.
Just a little bit of frustration there from Sharp.
I think Makepeace has done his level best to win that free kick. He'll be delighted that he has. Full time at Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Big opportunity now for Michael Carrick's side on Monday night against Brentford.
Yeah, that's a big boost to everybody here at the club.
All of the build-up and full radio commentary for you on Monday evening here on MUTV. Effort is palmed away by Heath and then hoisted clear by James Overy.
Great save there, it just fell nicely to be hit there. Sunderland player trying to find the sort of top corner on that far side. Good save from Heath, last minute of the game.
United trying to get up the field one last time before the final whistle goes into the 5th minute of time added on, and Koto has Ajayi with him. I mean, it's a clear pull of the shirt. Referee eventually giving the free kick. We've got enough time to potentially wing a ball into the penalty area.
Looks like it. He was fouling all the way down that line, the ref, eventually giving it last chance to put a ball in.
Well, there is one opportunity. Can somebody get a touch on the end of this and turn it back towards goal? Drilled across the edge of the 18-yard box. Junior Brown trying to get there. Turns. Finds a way past. Down the right-hand side. Over his delivery. Handball on the edge of the penalty area surely is not given. Now in by Rafe McCormack. Brought down by Nkoto. Nkoto needs to try and turn. Does that. Away by Sunderland. Back in by United. Clip round the corner, but just can't find the space, Manchester United, to get the shot away. It's really well defended by Sunderland. And now they come streaking in the opposite direction with Munyakazi. Referee brings the game to a close, and Manchester United have fought tooth and nail to try and find a way back into the game, but the 3 goals in the first half were all that was served up. Eventually, Manchester United finding an equaliser through Louis Bradbury after Sunderland had scored the opener through Caleb Shakespeare, who managed to take advantage of the error made by Manchester United. Bradbury's flicked header at the near post turned home after a wicked corner from the left-hand side. Then a penalty converted by Matadine that was given away by Nkoto inside the penalty area is the difference between these two sides. Noah Ajayi's missed penalty in the second half gave Manchester United late hope to even things up, but a good save from Cowan means that at full time, Sunderland 2, Manchester United 1.